Hello guys and welcome in a new video. In the last video we talked about the fetch module, and in this video I would like to show you how to use the template module. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel, you can like or comment these videos. For template module, you can find some documentation about it. To see this documentation, you can follow this link. So what does it do? What does the template module do? This is ANSIBLE. The template module combine two things: a file like the copy module, but we add into this file some variables, and we set these variables into lot of source like inventory variables or roles variables or whatever. So it's the same as the copy module, but with variables in the source file. The template module is very useful to manage configuration files. You can set the final file with variables of target servers. The format of this file is Jinja 2, because ANSIBLE use the Python language. This is like Puppet with ERB file, because Puppet is in Ruby language. As for all modules, we start to see some parameters. Attributes parameters, we have already seen these parameters. To check these parameters, you can see the man page to change attribute. This is like, for example, the sticky bit of this file. Backup parameters. The backup parameters, if you want to create a backup of this file before a change. The block end string and the block start string, when you want, by default, this is a curly bracket with a %, but you can change this value. This is the value by default with the jinja format to define the start of and the end of string. So the destination, very important, the destination file on target servers with the path. The follow, if you want to follow symbolic links. Force, if you want to overwrite a file, by default this is set to yes, because we want to overwrite in always. We want to overwrite always, but in some case you can set these parameters to no. The group, the file group, the ls strip blocks. If you want to respect the strict indentation, because in some case we want to define with our jinja file, we want to push and create, for example, a YAML file, and in YAML we know the indentation is very important. To keep the indentation of the source file, we can use these parameters like this. We can add this line in our first line in our Jinja template. The mode, to set permissions in two types, numeric type or POSIX type. New line sequence. Which element define a new line? By default, this is a \n. Output uncounting. Which format do you want to use? By default, UTF-8 to the destination file. the file owner, and the source. Obviously, the source is the jinja file, and this is the template path and the name of this file. Be careful to the location. By default, this is where you run your playbook. But if you use a role, by default, this is the template directory. Trim blocks. If you want to remove line breaks, for example, at the end of the line. Unsafe write to avoid some corruption of your file. Validate. This is like copy the copy module. You can validate before to do the change of your file with a command. We have already seen with an example with vi sudo for the sudoers file. Variable end string and variable start string to define when you start and you handed a string. So let's get started for some example. Before, I invite you to watch the video number 12 to understand a script to create some servers. I use this script deploy.sh, and I use -- create I want 3 servers, for example. I create these servers. Now I have 3 IP, .2, .3 and .4, and if I check, I don't have the ANSIBLE directory. I can use another option, ---ansible, and now I can find an ANSIBLE directory with a file who define my inventory with my 3 servers. Okay, so I can do my first example. I copy this element and we check it after. So I go into ANSIBLE directory, I create a new file, a playbook.yml file, and I paste my code into it. Okay, I define the name of my playbook, the target servers, this is the whole group in our case, and I define one variable, var1. I say Xavier, okay, and I set a task, one task only, where I use template module, and I want to use the jinja file, and I must to create this file, create new file. I paste the name of this file, mon template.txt.g2, and by convention and for best practices, we add a .g2 extension at the end of my file name. Okay, here. So in my playbook, I want to push the content of this file into /tmp/hello.txt on our target servers, and I want to use my variable, this one, var1, and I use it with hello, sorry, in my template hello. I get the jinja variable var1 with a double curly bracket, and I save it. Now I can go into ANSIBLE directory, and I can use ANSIBLE -playbook -i 00 inventory and playbook.yml. I run it. Sorry, I don't save my playbook file. I run it again. Now what I have, if I check, I have a change on all servers, because my task create hello.txt file in each case. So to check it, I can go into one of my 3 servers with 172.17.0.2, and I can check with cat/tmp hello.txt, and now I have hello Xavier, because the template module change our file content with our variable with var1 value. Another example, if you want, ANSIBLE define some specific variables for a template. ANSIBLE manage to add an header with a command to tell that this file is managed by ANSIBLE. And template host, this is another variable which tell us which server launched the playbook and generating the change. The template UID, this is the user who launched the playbook. The template path, where we can find the playbook on the host, on the ANSIBLE host. The template full path, this is like the path but a full path, and we can get the date, and with the date and hour. In our case, we can add only, sorry, I copy this line. We can add this line into our template, and I paste it into the first line. I save it again. I run it again. I have a change because we add a line into our template. If I check now, I have a new line in our first line in the target file. We have the date and the hour, and I have a message generated by ANSIBLE. This message is defined into etc/ansible/ansible.cfg, and via which user and which server. This is my laptop. My laptop name is Doki. Okay. So another example, we can define the owner and change the permission. This is very simple. Add some lines like this. And if I run it again, I can check the permission into /tmp, and I have the hello.txt file with owner OK, group OK, and permission 0755. Okay, and if you want, you can do a backup before a change. To do it, I save it. Be careful to indentation. I do a change. Okay, I can do bye. Okay, bye. Sorry, and I run it again. And now what we have in our /tmp directory, we have the previous file with a backup, and we have the date and the hour of the backup, and we have the new file. Okay, I can check with /tmp hello.txt, and if I check it, this is the previous file, and if I check with my new file, I have my new file with a new line. Okay. Now, if you want, you can use the template module with a loop, for example, with items loop. To do it, we can do it with this playbook. Yes. So I remove all this line. I save it again, and what we do, we keep var1 to Xavier, and var2, in var2 we define a list of dictionary. First dictionary, in all dictionary we have two keys, nom, name, name, and the age of this person. Okay, and if we want to do a loop, what we do, we use the template module, we use with items, and we set with items with var2 variable. Okay, and I use first of all, I use one of my item with the name key to create a new file, and in this case we generate 3 files, hello underscore Xavier, Paul, Pierre. Okay, and if you want, you can add in our template file this line, so like this. And if I run it, name here, name, and age, it's okay. Okay, I run it again, So now we have created ls/tmp. We have 3 files: hello Paul, hello Xavier, and hello Pierre, and hello Xavier. If I check into this file, hello underscore Paul, cat, we have I'm Paul, and the age of Paul is 22. We can check 22. Okay, if I check hello Xavier, we have the value of this dictionary. Okay, so another example, if you want, you can do a loop not on the file and not on the destination file, but into our template. So to do it, I can copy these lines, So another example, if you want, you can do a loop not on the file name, but on the content of our template. To do it, you can check this example. I copy some lines, I paste it into my my playbook file, I save it. What we have name, like it, okay, and we just create one file, hello whole.txt, but we want to do a loop on our list into our template file. So I remove all lines and I copy these lines into my template file. Oh, sorry. What I do, I say hello var1. It's okay. We have already done that. So after, what we do a loop with a for loop on var2. var2, this is the list, my list of dictionaries. And for each loop, we define a Persian list, and with a Persian we collect name key and age key, and we get the value of each keys. So I save it again, I run it, and if I check on my server, my target server, I can do cat /emp and hello all, and what we have 3 blocks, 1 block per person, Xavier and his age, Paul and his age, and Pierre and his age. We have our loop. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you want, you can find these slides with the link into the description, the video description, and I say you goodbye.